What's going on, everybody? Welcome to One on One with Michael Jonvier, powered by Control Magazine and courtesy of the Boss Architect. How you doing today, Tyler?
I'm doing well, man. How you feeling?
I'm doing great, y'all. Today, I have the pleasure of talking to Mr. Tyler Lepley. You guys know him from the Haves and Have-Nots. You know him from P-Valley, and now we know him from Harlem. He's a heartthrob and a hard boy in the first two. And then this one right here, y'all, he's a chef. He is talking romance and love. Tyler, how is it playing a whole new role? Like, he was a bad boy in the first one. He's a bad boy in the second series, and now in your third series in Harlem, we get to see a little bit of a softer side of
you. Yeah, I mean, I think it's great. There was, this character is a very nuanced character. There's lots of contrast with him. There's virility, there's vulnerability, but I think it's just been fun to be able to work on new roles and just show different sides of my artistry as much as I can. I thought it was important to, I like the soap opera world, and I like the dark, gritty, heavy drama. But it was important for me to showcase a lighter side too. And one thing I think is great about Harlem is that even though it's a romantic comedy and it's very light, it's fun, it's funny, there's still room for levity and grounded performances, which I think Ian kind of hits the nail on the head.
Right, and then another mostly female cast, and this cast is giving us very Sex in the City meets Girlfriend vibes. Your character falls in with the main character, Camille, in that they were in a relationship, things just didn't work out, and now he's kind of popped back up in her life. Have you ever had a situation where ex kind of popped back up in your life and it kind of disrupted things for you a little bit?
In my experience, no. I'm really focused on my purpose and what it is that I'm doing, and I feel like I'm so involved in the relationships that I am in. I'm 2 feet in, and I'm fully invested into it. So if it doesn't work out, I don't really feel like there's any need to double back because I've kind of exhausted everything that I needed to while I was in it. So in short, that's never happened to me now.
No, that's really dope. It's really interesting, as you said, I don't double back. I've exhausted everything I need from a relationship and move forward. One of the things that they were talking about recently is they said they noticed it's a whole thing of people going back to their exes. Why do you think that's happening?
I feel like whether it's an ex or whether it's a, old neighborhood or, old dish that you gave up or whatever it may be, I feel like a lot of times when people are doubling back, it's because they haven't gotten clear, or they haven't really got the clarity on what it is that they're trying to hit moving forward. You know what I mean? I feel like when we're not focused on the purpose or the end goal or, the objective, you start to get sidetracked with outside things. You know what I mean? It's almost like if we when we lose sight of our purpose, we get distracted with pleasures. You know what I mean? So
awesome.
A lot of that has to do with, why people double back.
I know you talk a lot about purpose, and we talk about people doubling back, but in this series, it's similar to a lot of other ones that we've seen before, like Run the World, we've seen Girlfriends. What do you feel like the purpose of this particular series is, and what makes it stand out from other ones that are similar to it?
Yeah, well, I think these are great shows with talented people that we're in great conversation with, like other shows like this. But I feel like what makes this show kind of stand alone is just the sense of there's a couple things. So first of all, with the women that are being showcased and the people that are in it in general, but mainly the women, it's important to understand that all of our stories deserve to be told, and there's not a being Black is not a monochromatic thing. It's not one color. It's not one experience. You know what I mean? So I just feel like a lot of times Black women are portrayed to be just strong and sassy, and of course being strong is a positive thing, of course, but they're also vulnerable. There are also times where there's human qualities. They may not always have it all together, and the full spectrum of being human, in this case as a Black woman, which this show is centered around, that deserves to be told fully. And when you mention some of these other shows, there's similarities, but each story deserves to be told. And it's not like again, it's not just one experience. And I think the backdrop of this whole show is a love letter to Harlem. So a place that has a deep sense of pride, a deep sense of identity, that is that's leaving through the gentrification. It's like that soul is going away, and this identity of Harlem deserves to be preserved. So it's like, you know, you mix the two, and it's like you got the show Harlem, and it's just something that really deserves to be told, deserves to be heard, and you know, definitely deserves to be watched and consumed.
Well, I do like the show. I do like that the show points out very seriously how gentrification is affecting places that were routinely historically
Yeah,
African American hubs. Like the Harlem Renaissance came from Harlem, and some of the cultural aspects of it.
yeah.
What do you think we as African Americans can do to protect sacred spaces like that while also allowing it to develop and flourish as the world around us like develops and flourishes as well?
Yeah, I think what we can do is, you know, celebrate them and continue to reinvest in them. You know, a lot of times, like, you know, we can put our eyes on things and make sure that the attention is there. But, you know, unfortunately, you know, money makes this thing go around. So like a lot of the money is what's coming in and gentrifying these places. So I feel like, you know, it's nice to go, you know, it's nice to go buy nice things, nice cars, cool clothes, jewelry, like whatever, like, you know, take nights on the town. But it's like, you know, I feel like some of the money that we get, we should be reinvesting into some of these spaces so that we can preserve them and keep them, you know, keep them going on for generations to come.
I agree. I definitely agree.
Yeah.
So the series has a lot of different storylines and plot lines. What is your favorite storyline or plot line inside the series thus far?
Um, you know, I love where my character's going, but I really love to watch just the camaraderie of the four women, and just kind of how they move through the city and navigate their love lives and their new jobs, and, you know, just figuring themselves out. But I think if I had to narrow it down to one, I really love Camille's storyline. Like I just love how she's trying to figure herself out while she's trying to figure her love life out. And even though she had this long-standing relationship with Ian, you know, when push comes to shove, she chooses herself. You know what I'm saying? And I can connect with that because, you know, a decade ago when I left Philly, it's like I did something similar. You know, I left, you know, I left a long-standing relationship, and I moved away from
Wow.
a city that was the only thing that I knew. Now she didn't move away, but she chose herself though. So in a sense, even though there's some differences, there's like you know, there's like a foundational similarity in myself and Camille, and the fact that, you know, we chose our purpose first, because we understand that we can't make anyone else happy until we make ourselves happy first. So I think I really love where Camille's storyline is and where it's going.
That is really deep and really, really, really profound that you said that. A lot of times people try to make you feel guilty for moving on in your life and taking the time to figure stuff out. And her character is very much so like, hey, I'm awkward,
Yeah.
I'm quirky, it's not always perfect, but I am moving forward with the things that I need to do.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, you know, when they throw dirt on us, at the end of the day, you know, we're going to be in that box alone. No one's going to feel bad. You know what I'm saying? They may cry at your funeral and this and that, but it's like no one's going to get in that box with you. So it's like, you know,
Right.
I feel like the time that we're here, you know, blessed on earth, it's like, you know, we deserve to put ourselves first.
Okay. Let me ask you a question. How does it feel to be a heartthrob? And has being a heartthrob, has it made it harder for you to date or easier? We know you're currently, you know, seeing someone in a relationship, but
Yeah.
historically, how has that been for you?
You know, people have tried to put me in a box my whole life. You know, I mean, I know when I was playing football, I was just, you know, I was just a jock, you know, and then, you know, when I graduated from college, I was, you know, oh, like he's a scholar, he thinks he's this and that. And then it's like, you know, I had some times in life where I wasn't making the best decisions, and people try to say, oh, he's a knucklehead now. And it's like, you know, now I'm acting, and it's like, you know, they try to put me in this heartthrob box. So being put in a box is nothing new to me. I think, you know, whatever box someone wants to put me in, it's not really for me to say. That's the box that they want to put me in. I think for me, it's you know, it's important to continue to, you know, showcase my acting ability so that I can get out of those boxes. You know, I think some of my favorite actors, you know, you look at Denzel, he's able to play any and everything. Yeah, he can go bad with, you
Right.
know, my favorite movie is like Training Day. So yeah, he was bad over there, but it's like, you know, he had a good heart and glory when he was trying to do the right thing. It's like he had a role where he was playing like, I don't know, he's some type of scholar or something like that. But Denzel can do everything, so you can't put him in a box because he's got the skill set to say otherwise. So I think for me, it's, you know, it's nice to be in any type of you know, any type of light where people are looking at me in a positive light. You know, of course, there's something positive with the box of a heartthrob. You know, I feel like, you know, people may want to go towards it, but there's something positive about it. So that's nice. You know, But at the end of the day, I try to make sure that I work on my skill set to the point where you could never put me in a box. And that's another reason why I chose this role, because I was coming from at first I was doing a soap opera, and then I was doing like a dark, heavy drama. And it was like, I thought it was important to do something that was a bit lighter too, romantic comedy now.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Okay, I definitely agree with that. I know some critiques of the show is, this comes not from myself but from others. They felt like the show was kind of attacking masculinity a little bit. Like they had the same what they were saying, like, niggas ain't shit, niggas ain't shit, niggas ain't shit. What do you feel like we as men can do to make dating and just overall life easier for the women that we allegedly care about?
One thing I think we can do better as men is to listen more. I feel like, Ian's got this great juxtaposition where there's this sense of strength, this virility, but it's also paired with this tenderness and this vulnerability. So if we're going to take a page out of Ian's book, it's like, I feel like we can emulate that balance a bit more. I know a lot of times in the past, before I was in therapy and stuff like that, and even just before I was as, lower in my maturation process, I was always trying to let a woman know how it's going to go. You know what I'm saying? I was talking too much, doing too much of that. You know what I mean? And I feel like, the older I've gotten, the more mature I've gotten, I've understood that, listening is just as key a component as being able to articulate your feelings and talking. So I feel like that balance, or finding that balance, is something that we can do as men to make the experience for women not be as toxic. We don't, there's this huge, they always talk about toxic masculinity, and it's like, we don't want to get rid of the masculinity. We need that, but we can do our job to kind of get rid of some of the toxicity though,
I agree with that wholeheartedly. Completely agree with that.
Yeah.
What's next for you? Do we have what's coming up for 2022? 2021 is already out the door. She grabbing a coat. All right, see y'all later. It's been busy. What's going on in 2022?
So 2022, we got we got P Valley dropping. Fingers crossed we'll get to go back for season 2 of Harlem. I got some music. I got some more music coming down the pipeline. I got a movie that I'm producing. So I think for me, it's just more about continuing to expand on my artistry. It's been great to be able to go in and be the artist or the actor for hire. I go into an audition room, I book it, do great work from that. But it's like, I want to be able to create some of my own things now that I'm passionate about too. So for me, it's just continuing to be the multi-hyphenate that I see in my my trajectory. So just take a step in that realm.
I got you. I'm praying for that, all that for you. Last question, what would your dream role be?
My dream role? So I think my dream role would be something like, what was a really good movie I just watched? I just watched maybe a couple months ago at this point, but I watched The Candyman. And it was a thriller, but you also saw, I forget his name, the actor's so talented, but like he just did a great job. Yeah, he did a really good job. I know it was in the writing too, but he's the one who really brought it to life. But he just did a really good job. Of course, it was a thriller. Of course, it was scary. He had all that, but it's like you just got a great sense of what he was going through. He was still vulnerable, and this stuff was actually happening to him. So I feel like I want to go down that thriller route, but something that is that also showcases that he's very much a human being too. So again, finding that juxtaposition in those type of roles is really important to me.
A complicated villain. We love him over here.
Complicated.
We love you in Harlem. We love you in P Valley, man, and we miss seeing you in the haves and have-nots, man. I love your growth. I love where everything is going, and congratulations on everything that's happening for you. I'm gonna cross my fingers along with you for a season 2 of Harlem, and I can't wait to see you in P Valley when you play Diamond. Where can everybody follow you at on social media?
All my social media handles are the same, so it's at Ty Lepley.
So all right, you guys can follow me everywhere on social media at Michael Jonvier. And make sure you tune in for more celebrity interviews at 101, powered by Control Magazine and The Boss Architect. Thank you so much for your time, Tyler.
Oh, man, I appreciate it, Michael. Good to talk to you, man.
Likewise. Be blessed.
You too, bro.